Hi, I'm Elise, this is Which Way, and here are some Witch Watch recommendations. This month on Which Way Presents, we had the silent film from 1913, The Night Before Christmas. On this night, devils and witches are out to play while a man tries to woo his crush with a pair of the Serena's slippers. This is an adaptation of the story of the same name by Nikolai Gogol, a fun little film that you can find here on my channel. Into this month's Witch Watches now, and I watched the anthology Dr. Terror's Gallery of Horrors. The first tale is about a clock enchanted by a witch to bring back the dead, found in a house newly purchased by a couple. It didn't really build suspense, so only 2 stars for this one, and I didn't even bother watching the rest of the anthologies. Next is the 1970 historical drama Witchhammer. After a beggar is caught stealing a church wafer, accusations abound of witchcraft, and a witch hunter is brought in to cleanse the town of witches. This apparently includes its priest, who tries to put a stop to the hysteria. This film portrays the real horrors of the witch trials, so I give it 5 stars. Of course, this rating was also due to the fact that it was inspired by real-world events, and you can find out more about that in my witch lore review for it. From 1999, I watched the anime Revolutionary Girl Utena the movie. A new student is inducted into a competition of swordsmanship. The prize is the Rose Bride, who has a mysterious and unsettling past which is brought to light, and she battles her fears with the help of Utena, who at one point is turned into a car. This film is full of metaphors and uses the term witch very loosely, and was a wild ride. A car ride, what the heck? 3 stars for this one. It's a beautiful film, but it lost me at the end there. Yeah, not super witchy. Next, for my witch lore on The Pale Horse, I watched a series of films and series adapted from the Agatha Christie novel The Pale Horse. The film of the same name in 1997 gets 3 stars. The Marple series episode from 2011, 4 stars, as does the episode from the French series Agatha Christie's Criminal Games from 2011. And finally, my favourite, the 2020 miniseries The Pale Horse, which I will actually go into as they all follow the same premise, but I thought I would stick with the mini-series as, in my opinion, this is the best. The story begins when a list of names is brought to the attention of an investigator, and our protagonist is on that list. Some of those named on this list are dead, and some soon end up that way. Is our protagonist next? He links the names to the Pale Horse and the witches who reside there. Do they play a part? This was a psychological thriller as well as a murder mystery, and the part the witches played was changed from its source material, but well worth checking out. 5 stars for this interesting take on Agatha Christie's novel. The next series I watched is also from 2020, the supernatural drama October Faction. Husband and wife monster hunter duo are moved around by the secret corporation they work for and move back home after the death of the patriarch of their family. They bring with them their teenaged twins, who soon come into some strange abilities themselves, and with the rise of a forgotten power, they find out what their parents really get up to, and could they be their next target? I liked the premise of this series, but it wasn't 100% in its execution. There wasn't really a vibe. I don't know how else to explain it, but the characters were likable and the lore of warlocks gets fleshed out well, or at least the series' take on warlocks. 4 stars for this series, but unfortunately it was cancelled after 1 season. But this is based off of the comic book series of the same name, so perhaps that might be worth checking out as well. Up next in series, I have some more anime, starting with the Magical Mashley, Magic and Muscles. In a world of witches and wizards, Mash is a muggle, but a very strong one. He attends a school for magic anyway and combats brains with brawn. It's as if One Punch Man attended Hogwarts, and the show is fully aware of that. The school has separate houses, a wise headmaster, even Quidditch. But this series was actually a lot of fun to watch. It's a silly concept that pokes fun at the Harry Potter series, and it's almost 5 stars. I did find it a little bit too silly at some points, so maybe 4.5. Though I can't say the same for the next one. The anime comedy, The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch. A witch finds a baby in the forest and raises her as her own daughter, and she too becomes a witch. The daughter now, though, looks almost older than her mother, and as an only child does not want to share her mother's affections. The same joke is in every episode. Lots of boobs and an unhealthy mother-daughter relationship. This series gets old quickly. Only 2 stars for this series. That really could have been so much more. And with last month being Halloween, I also wanted to do a big shout out to my Halloweenies Dungeons & Dragons crew who were subject to much witch lore in our annual Halloween game and gifted me with this awesome laser cut logo. I love it, and it now has pride of place in my backdrop. And speaking of games, I will be adding witchy computer game playthroughs and maybe even reviews in the new year. So keep an eye out for that, where I will be playing live so you can jump on and have a chat while watching me play some witchy games. If you have any recommendations for this, let me know in the comments below, as well as what witchy shows you have been watching lately and any recommendations for my upcoming witch lore reviews. Some of these that have been requested have proven a little tricky to track down, so if you've already made a request, don't worry, it's still on my list. It may just take some time to find it. Please remember to complete your ritual of liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing this with anyone else you think might enjoy it here. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.